And you know the sad thing, Nigerians are so quick to forget because he tried to tell us what we know to be true is actually not true.
Hello, welcome to another amazing video. If this is the first time coming across this channel and you like what happens here, then go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Also turn on your post notification bell so that you get notified whenever we post videos on this channel. On this channel, we do not promote hate speech, we do not promote violence, we only bring credible information that will benefit members of the public. I want to use this opportunity, I want to use this medium to appreciate YouTube for creating such an amazing avenue that helps us bring information, credible information to the members of the public. Now, I came across this video that caught my attention. I want us to watch it together. As you watch, do not forget to like and share.
So guys, a dictator wrote a book and people actually showed up to celebrate this. And the book is not like him taking full responsibility and asking Nigerians for forgiveness for all the atrocities that he committed in the 8 years that he was in office. No. In fact, he blames his chief of defense staff at the time, Sani Abacha, who later became another dictator. He said his military officers, led by his chief of defense staff, were the ones that annulled the most free and fair election that we've ever had as a country, June 12, 1993, when Nigerians elected MKO Abiola as president. His book says that Abacha was the one that annulled the election without his permission. I'm like, wow. Guys, this is like an insult on our collective intelligence. Babangida without his permission. This is not just an insult on our intelligence, guys. Babangida must believe that we are all smoking something, because who announced the annulment? He did. There was no gun pointing to his head when he was announcing. Babangida is not stupid. He's very well spoken. He knew exactly what he was doing. Maybe he had an agreement with Abacha that after me you will be next. But for him to say Abacha was the one without his permission, that's a big fat lie from the pit of hell. I mean, why was he the head of state if the chief of defense staff was the one in control? He should not even be talking. Guys, among other atrocities that he carried out, Babangida ordered his men to open fire on unarmed protesters. He killed at least 118 of them in broad daylight for demanding that he should validate that election. You know, the question still remains, who killed Giwa, a renowned journalist that was killed by a parcel bomb during Babangida's time? There had been no justice for all the people that were killed or for him hijacking true democracy. But now he wrote a book and we're celebrating. The most disappointing one for me was seeing Professor Osinbajo, a lawyer, a senior advocate, someone that knows the law, was seeing him there. It's not every event that you have to attend now. He even reviewed the book. I was like, wow. You know, there were so many people in that room that day that had contributed to stalling the progress of Nigeria. And not only were these people celebrating, they even donated. Babangida raised 17.5 billion naira that day. Within like 3 hours. Billion, not million. That's more than $11 million. In 3 hours, like 11.5 million. He said it's to set up a presidential library. I was like, shoo. He's now the one setting up a presidential library. Hey, God. This insult on our collective intelligence is just too much. In fact, forget all the money that he stole as head of state and all the pension that he's been getting all these years. Maybe they will spend 500 million naira on the library. The man just raised 17 billion for his family when he leaves. And you know the sad thing, Nigerians are so quick to forget because he tried to tell us what we know to be true is actually not true. He painted it like he was powerless. Oh, there was nothing he could do. Abacha was the bad guy. But Abacha don't die. If you want to know what actually happened that time, guys, and how Babangida's action changed the trajectory of Nigeria, how it affected so many lives, and how our hope was dashed, my people, read this book. It's a novel, so you will not be bored. In fact, it's a love story. You get caught up in the whole lovey thing that happened in this book. But it's not biography. It's a love story written around the incidents of June 12. You know how Chimamanda's Half of a Yellow Sun brings the Civil War to life. You feel like you are there while reading it. That's how this book brings June 12 to life. It's written by an award-winning storyteller, an author, a speaker, and my very good friend, Abishola Ayodeji. It's one of those books that you can put down. Once you start reading it, let me warn you, just make sure that you read through chapter 1 you will just realize you can't put it down, you know. And it's also on Audible if you would rather listen to it while driving. The only thing is you will cry if you read this book, because Nigeria happened to some characters in this book. The effects of June 12th is real, guys. There are lives that were forever changed because of what Babangida and his cronies did that time, and no amount of book launching will wipe the truth. I'm so mad. I'm purposely promoting this book because he's trying to rewrite history. This book is on Amazon, guys. Please buy it. I know the truth for yourself. Yes, this whole thing happened like 32 years ago. Some people are already forgetting the events of that time. Some of us were too young to remember the details. Some people were not born. But if you read this book, you will know why all this book launching cannot wipe out the truth from our memory. In fact, I feel insulted. So please buy the book. It's on Amazon. It's also in every bookstore in America. It's in every bookstore, so you can pick up a copy. Now, you guys know that when it comes to religious issues, I don't talk. You know, Christian drama, Muslim drama, I keep my mouth shut. But this story has been trending that they want to bring Sharia law to the southwest, you know, in Nigeria, or your state to be precise. So people have been asking, Adola, what are you going to say? I said, what do you want me to say? There's nothing to say now. Okay, so let me say what I wanted to say. It looks to me like someone is trying to distract us with this, honestly, because I have taken a look at northern Nigeria, where Sharia law was embraced more than 20 years ago. And correct me if I'm wrong, but in the last 20 plus years of Sharia law in the north, not once has it been applied to a big person or a politician. It only applies to regular people, poor people. Maybe it's the type of translation or interpretation that some people are giving the Sharia law in northern Nigeria. I don't know, because Islam has been in northern Nigeria for as far back as we can remember. But after Sharia law was embraced in 1999, we started seeing double standards in how the law was being interpreted. And I'm hoping to hear from my northern viewers about this. But I took a look at Zamfara, for example, where Sharia law was introduced. That governor that introduced Sharia law in Zamfara was charged to court for stealing 1 billion naira. Many people will argue he stole more than 1 billion, but let's just pretend it's 1 billion. Did anything happen to him for stealing 1 billion? No. But when one man stole a goat in his state during his administration, he made sure that they cut off this man's hand. In fact, they convinced the man whose hands was cut off, they convinced him that that was the will of God for him, that it was God's will for him to be punished that way because he stole a goat. He even accepted it as the will of God. He's not the only one whose hands was cut off. There are many people whose hands were cut off and we did not even hear about them. Why is it that the governor's hands are still intact? In fact, nothing has happened to him. And he said he embraced Sharia law. The list goes on. Another Zamfara governor, Governor Yari, allegedly stole 84 billion naira. Billion! 84 billion, guys. Did Sharia apply to him? No. And he just continued like that, you know. The governor that came after him, Matawale, allegedly stole 70 billion. Was his hands cut off? No. In fact, there are reports that he was the one that started banditry. But guess what? He's now a minister. He's still there, enjoying the money that he allegedly stole. Every time that we needed Sharia law desperately to deal with corrupt northern governors, we couldn't find it. Look at the former governor of Kano State, Ganduje. I mean, we all saw the videos of him taking bribe in dollars. The last I checked, they are practicing Sharia law in Kano now. So why didn't Sharia law apply to him? His hands are still intact. Not one northern politician in Nigeria has been tried at the Sharia court and brought to justice. Why is that? You are wondering what I think about it. I think it is only applying to regular people, poor people. Another double standard in how they are practicing Sharia law in northern Nigeria is that they police women, but they exempt men, even if they committed the same offense. We all remember the story of Amina Lawana, who was sentenced to death by stoning. They said that she committed adultery and got pregnant out of wedlock. And they were really going to kill this lady in 2002. Until it became an international news. They were ready to stone her. But till today, nobody talked about the man that impregnated her. She did not do the do by herself. You don't just get pregnant by yourself. What happened to the man that they did the do together? Did he not sin? Why was the man allowed to go scot-free, but she was condemned to death? Meanwhile, former Governor Yerima married an Egyptian teenager. Some people said that she was 13, others said she was 15. All we know is that that was a child, a teenager. And everybody knows that the word pedophile means an adult who is sexually attracted to young children, and that is a crime. Did he not get away with it? Where was Sharia law when this man was sleeping with a child? Another double standard is all the law about women covering up and dressing in certain ways. At least in northern Nigeria, as I've seen, they don't apply to children of big people, daughters of big people. We all saw, if nothing else, we saw when the daughter of Governor Gonduje of Kano, the one that collected dollars, we saw when his daughter was getting married. She was looking beautiful and radiant in her dress. Or let me say dresses. Shallow, but can regular ladies dress like that and walk on the streets of Kano, especially on Fridays? I mean, it's just an honest question. Oh, the lovey-lovey that auntie was doing at her wedding. Do they allow regular people to do lovey-lovey and kiss, you know, like that? I'm just going by what we've been observing. It never applies to those who bring the law. It only applies to regular people. And as soon as they bring it in and everybody is busy policing themselves, while everybody is busy looking at a women's skirt, whether it is long enough or not, these politicians get busy. They start stealing money. And because the people have been distracted, these governors are able to get away with stealing so much. Look at all the money that they've stolen from Zamfara. 80 billion, 70 billion. Do you know what Zamfara would be like today if they should use all that money to develop that state? There is no reason why Zamfara should be one of the poorest states in Nigeria. You know that they have gold, right? And you know that all these governors that are going there, they are basically just stealing the natural resources. Look at all the money that they've been able to steal. Meanwhile, they make sure that the people are focused on who stole goats, cutting off their hands. As far as I'm concerned, Sharia law in northern Nigeria has been used to distract the people, while the real thieves have been getting away. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you have observed. If you disagree with everything that I have said, please put it in the comment section. We can disagree without fighting each other. But
thank you so much for watching, and please drop your contribution, drop your opinion in the comment section. Please do it constructively. You know what I mean by that. And do not forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. Like this video and also share. I'll see you in our next video.